Alright, so make sure you have your note card. I'm going to teach you how to use guess in this video. If you're not using guess, none of your physics teachers will answer any of the questions. So again, keep your note card nearby. I'm going to put it underneath here for now. And then this is going to help us determine which of the two equations do we use. So don't worry about this saying, oh, these are the velocity sample problems. Sure, but when it's mixed practice, you need to be able to differentiate between the two. So looking at this problem, it says Carl Lewis was another amazing runner. He could start a race at 16 meters and end in 10.23 seconds. If his ending distance is 123 meters, what was his velocity? So as you're reading the problem, 16 meters is the first number you were giving. It says that that's where he would start the race. So 16 meters then is your initial distance because it's in meters. Okay, so meters distance. So this is di. And 10.23 seconds because it's seconds. And I'm looking at my table here. That's my time. So that's t. If his ending distance is 123 meters, then the ending distance would be your final distance. So this is df. What was his velocity? So we're looking for v. And I've kind of gone through and told you how to figure out what of each of these are, but I'm still going to have you list them for us. So first part of guess, givens, unknowns, equation, substitute, solve, is writing the givens and the unknowns. Givens and unknowns. So doing this part, we know that we have a di of 16 meters, 16 meters. The df is 123. And we have a time of 10.23 seconds. And we are looking for how fast was he moving. So what was his velocity? Alright, so then that's my question mark. Instead of question mark, I actually am going to change it. We're going to call it x because students have been telling me that they are more comfortable solving for x. So once we substitute, we're going to make this x. We're going to look for x. And then looking at that, givens and unknowns, I look at this and I say, okay, well, I have two equations. It can't be this one because there's no acceleration. So you're literally looking at all the stuff that was given to you. And you're like, v, t, df, di. Well, I'm like, oh, v, df, di, t. This has to be the equation we use. So I'm going to write down my equation. And the equation is v equals df minus di all over t. And now I can substitute and solve for this equation to find velocity. So substitute and solve. So leave v as x because that's what we're looking for. I just want to leave it as v. I'm going to leave it as v for this one because I feel like it's so much easier to leave for v, so I know it's velocity. And I know that my df is 123 minus 16 all over 10.23. Alright, and how do I solve for this? Well, anytime you have a fraction, you want to solve the top of the fraction first. If you have pluses or minuses, you want to be just a number. So 123 minus 16 is step one. So now I have 107 divided by 10.23 because I did nothing with that part of my problem. So now 107 and then 107 divided by 10.23 is 10.45 or 46 because we're going to round up 10.46 meters per second because it's a velocity. So make sure that you are in school, so make sure you don't have naked numbers. So make sure you have a symbol or a unit with each of these. So velocities in meters per second, make sure I label it. This would give me my 4 points on the test or quiz.